So you've probably read this groundbreaking book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. But now it's coming to life like you have never seen it before. It's a one-man show. So everything from dating to marriage, everybody can relate to something in this show. So joining us now is the man behind the show, Peter Storey. Peter, thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
So I know a lot of people probably have read the book and they're wondering, okay, the book was cool. Why do I need to come check out the show?
Well, the show is, I call it my one-man Cirque du Soleil, but it's basically a little bit of everything. Got a lot of dancing, singing, I do impressions, I do characters, and I sometimes play the Venusian. I play the lady from Venus, too, which a lot of times is my wife, Megan. So I'm married. I know what it's like to be on the front lines. And they put together a great show based on the book. You don't need to know the book, though, to come to the show. And I'm proud to say that Jacksonville, this is the third time I've performed the show at Jacksonville. So every time, you know, we sell out more shows, people get more interested, they say come back. So I'm glad to be back in Jacksonville.
What initially attracted you to this show?
I think part of the challenge of a one-man show, because it's just me up on stage, you know, so it's kind of like doing a tight wire without a net, you know, there's nobody there to catch you if something could go horribly wrong. But I also like that. I like the intimacy that I have with the audience. You know, I try hard to make every show unique and every show fresh. I have that ability, you know, running the show myself. So I'm anxious to go up tonight. I do have shows tonight, tomorrow night, 2 on Saturday at the Times Union Center at the beautiful Terry Theater, which is one of my favorite theaters, and excited to do the show again.
So many topics. How do you decide, like, what you're going to approach and how?
Well, you know, there's a script to the show that I kind of have to follow because I am an actor. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I didn't write it all myself. I wish I did because it's really great. But there's a script I have to adhere to. But they give me a little wiggle room. So I'll probably be tonight talking about, you know, the construction. Probably talking about the Jaguars a little bit. You know, I try to, like, you know, flavor it with a little bit of reason. But this is a great date night show. Yeah. It's a great date night show if you're just first dating, you're just, you know, if you're young and you're just kind of testing the waters. If you've been married for a very long time, whatever it is, this show is a spark where you can take a great date night, get out with a loved one, have some great laughs. I set the mood, and then I let the couples close the deal when they leave the theater. But it's easy to say that in Jacksonville, people really have a good time with this show. So I'm anxious to do it again.
I want to know, what does your wife think about this show?
Well, I'll tell you what she thinks of it. She's seen it enough times now that she uses it against me. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, she's a performer as well. She's a brilliant, beautiful improv artist and actress, singer and performer. And so she understands. She understands that we take liberties, you know, when we tell stories, that there's the fishtail. Everything can be a little bit more funny or a little bit more exaggerated. But she's a great sport about it. Yeah. And she knows that by me going out there and standing on stage and telling the stories about us, it makes it easier for other people to relate to, and we can see a lot of great changes.
Yeah, I want to ask you that. You're talking about you want people to relate to it. What do you really want them to take, besides, of course, having a great time, but take away from checking out the show?
I want people to realize that as we fight for equality between the sexes, there's still basic physiological, biological differences between the sexes. You know, the way a female's brain reacts chemically to chronic stress is completely different than the way a guy's brain reacts in terms of the dopamine and serotonin levels. I know that sounds very technical, but in the show we make a lot of fun out of it and there's a lot of jokes about it, but there are basic differences between each other. And when we start to understand those differences, we stop taking things personally. Yeah. And we stop taking things personally, we mend, you know, fights a lot faster, we get less upset, and we live a little bit more harmoniously.
I love it. So a great show, and hopefully an even better relationship when you leave the show.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you so much. We're so excited about you being back here in Jacksonville. Of course, if you want to check out the show, it's going to be at the Terry Theater at the Times Union Center. It starts tonight. It runs through Saturday, so you have all kinds of chances to check it out. You can get the tickets at the Artist Series website, and we've also posted a link on the morning show page of news4jax.com.